searching for a solution as the cost of EpiPens continues to climb. New Mexicans are now looking for alternative answers. Plus, UNM steps up safety, the drill they're testing out this morning, and what they want students to do today before a potential campus-wide emergency. And new details in the investigation of a shooting that left an officer dead. What authorities say they found in the shooting suspect's bag. This morning, I'm Adam Atchison.
Good morning, I'm Kristen Curry. Today is Tuesday, September 6th.
We're talking about some potential for some rain coming, and it's all due to one storm, right?
Yeah, we got a
Big
lot
storm.
of moisture, yeah, from what is now Hurricane Newton, and this is something we're going to be tracking here for the next 48 hours. Want to start with a look at that Doppler radar. Have a little bit of some light to moderate rain still falling in far northern Union County. It's nothing compared to what you had overnight. Even the lightning threat has diminished, but you see here a lot more cloud cover and even a little bit of rain clipping that far southwestern corner. This is going to be a trend here for the next 48 hours, so make sure you know where that umbrella is, or at least have a rain jacket near you in case some of those showers pass overhead this afternoon. 73 degrees this morning, winds out of the south about 6 miles per hour. Pretty pleasant start to the day. I'll tell you, hourly forecast leaves us in the 80s this afternoon underneath that partly sunny sky. Temperature is not quite as warm as where we were yesterday, but still very comfortable, and it's really all about the rain chances, so we won't spend too much time on the numbers. We're just going to be talking scattered rain and thunderstorms today, tracking Hurricane Newton, which at this point is a Category 1 storm to the south of us. It will increase the flooding threat here as we get the remnants of this storm as early as tomorrow and continuing through the later part of our Wednesday. But really within the next 48 hours, we're going to be talking about the possibility of heavy rain and localized flooding. I'm going to break down what you need to know in your full forecast coming up here in just about 10 minutes.
All right, Kristen, thank you. In the meantime, there are new details this morning about what police say happened in the moments before an Alamogordo police officer was shot and killed. Police say officers Clint Corvinus and Christopher Welch were on patrol Friday when they recognized 38-year-old Joe Moreno as a wanted fugitive with 3 outstanding warrants. Investigators say when officers started to chase Moreno, he reached into a bag, pulled out a revolver, and pointed it at the 2 officers. And that's when Officer Welch fired. Moreno fell to the ground and returned fire, hitting Officer Corvinus. State police say Moreno then got up and continued to shoot while Officer Welch went after him. We're told the officer then shot Moreno in the head, killing him. State police say inside Moreno's bag were 10 unfired hollow point bullets and a pair of handcuffs. And in just hours tonight, people are scheduled to gather to remember Officer Corvinus in a candlelight vigil planned at the Otero County Fairgrounds. Right now, numerous law enforcement honor guards are standing watch over Officer Corvinus's body and the honor flag until his funeral. They did the same when Hatch police officer Jose Chavez was killed last month in the line of duty.
Each time the honor flag is handled, a new pair of white gloves is used. Those gloves are then given to the fallen hero's family.
Tonight's vigil is scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. Officer Corvinus' funeral will be Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Taze Center at NMSU in Alamogordo. For those looking to help the Corvinus family, a pizza chain is holding a fundraiser this week. Happening tomorrow, all 17 Pizza 9 locations in New Mexico are donating 100% of their profits from the day to the Corvinus family. News 13 also has continuing coverage on today's memorial and the upcoming funeral for the officer. Stay up to date on air and on the KRQE News app. Time is 5:04. Turning to this, police are investigating a shooting this morning after the victim drove himself to get help. This is video of the scene from the Chavez County News Network. Roswell police say the 33-year-old victim drove himself to a fire station on Sunday night immediately after being shot. He was then taken to the hospital where he's still recovering from serious injuries caused by multiple gunshot wounds. If you know anything, you're asked to call Roswell police. Also happening now, police are searching for 2 people who they say robbed a man outside a restaurant in Hobbs. Officers responded to the Bella Sera restaurant on Sunday, and they say they found the victim, 57-year-old Havzi Jaha, suffering from injuries to his face. Witnesses say that Jaha was approached by the suspects when they took out a gun, fired a shot, and then stole his wallet. Jaha was not shot. He was just hurt in the scuffle. Police are looking for men who were both wearing black hoodies at the time. Happening today, the University of New Mexico is taking time out for safety. It's an upcoming 5-minute drill that university officials say could save lives. News 13's Catherine Mazzone is live on the campus with more this morning. Catherine?
Good morning, Adam. Those near the university's campus will find it tough to ignore. It's a siren as part of the university's emergency alert system, and it alerts those on campus it's dangerous to be outside. It could be anything from a lightning storm to a tornado, even an armed attacker. When the siren sounds, it's a clear indication: go inside and shelter in place. That means finding the nearest interior room or hallway. Today, the university expects everyone on campus to participate. UNM does this every year during Safety Week. That's the 6th through the 9th as part of a way to alert students about safety on campus. Now, today, the university again wants everyone to join in as part of this safety drill. University officials say this is also a good time, though, for students to make sure that they're logged into their Lobo alert system and that their contact information is up to date so that they can receive those alerts. Back to you, Adam.
All right, Catherine, thank you. The test is set for today at 11:05. Officials say emergency operations experts from UNM and UNMH will be on hand to monitor for participation. Happening today, the Mora School Board is expected to vote on whether to accept the superintendent's resignation. The New Mexican reports that Leanne Salazar Montoya is stepping down after just 3 months on the job. Teachers and staff have been calling for her resignation after the union said she unjustly fired 3 teachers over the summer. Salazar called the allegations false, saying the employees did not sign their yearly contracts in time and were not renewed for employment. This comes after former Superintendent Charles Trujillo resigned last year for allegedly falsifying documents and licenses to get the job as head of the district. As you wake up today, President Obama is making an historic visit to Laos. It's a mission to heal war wounds and reinvigorate the U.S.'s relationship with the country. The Obama administration is committing about $90 million to help clean up unexploded bombs the U.S. dropped on the country during the Vietnam War. Meanwhile, the White House is postponing the president's meeting with Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte after he cursed at the president.
We also regret it came across as a personal attack on the U.S. president.
The two were scheduled to meet in Laos during the summit. Also happening today, Bill Cosby's lawyers are expected to ask a judge to throw out 2 key pieces of evidence in the sexual misconduct case against the comedian. One of those is a deposition that Cosby gave back in 2005, where he talked about having extramarital affairs and had given other women drugs with their consent so that they would have sex with him. The other piece is a recorded phone call between Cosby and the alleged victim's mother. Cosby is charged with felony aggravated indecent assault in 2 cases. He has pleaded not guilty. Time is 5:08 and happening now. Some New Mexico families are looking for generic versions of EpiPens due to the recent price increase. EpiPens deliver epinephrine, the only medicine that can reverse anaphylactic shock. Recently, the price of an EpiPen has skyrocketed to about $800. It once sold for less than $100. The director of Food Allergy Support New Mexico says some families can't afford even 1 EpiPen, or they're stretching the limits of the medicine to avoid buying more.
I'm thinking maybe I could go a couple months past the expiration date, which is not a good idea, right? Or I'm thinking maybe I don't need to have one at the school where my kids are at, but what if they go into anaphylaxis at school?
Now, the group says there are generic versions available, like asking a doctor to prescribe epinephrine in a vial. There's also a plan to roll out more generics in the coming weeks. A viral photo showing one moment of kindness changes a life, but that gesture is now going beyond lunch. We'll explain how coming up. Plus, after having everything stolen in Albuquerque during a trip across the country, one family is hoping at least one important belonging, a major one, can be recovered. We'll tell you what it is. Also, the trial for the man accused of murdering a Rio Rancho police officer is set to begin. What's planned for today in court? Good morning, everybody. Nice to have you with us for KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Adam Atchison.
Good morning. I'm Kristen Curry. Today is Tuesday, September 6th.
Okay, we got a lot of rain on the way today, and it's all due to one big reason.
Hurricane Newton. That's going to be the main culprit.
You often hear about hurricanes on the East Coast, but we obviously have them affect us here too in New Mexico.
Yeah, you know what? Pacific has been very active this year, and even at the end of the last year, we've been tracking a lot. And this storm is going to be the main reason we're going to be tracking showers and storms over the next 48 hours. We'll start with the numbers. You see here, pretty comfy out there, 63 in Santa Fe, 48 in Grants, a little cooler out there to the west of us, and especially up across southern Colorado. I'd grab that jacket if I were you, but make it a raincoat because, like I said, those rain chances are looking better. better as we finish the day today. Winds have backed off significantly compared to what we had yesterday afternoon. They were really cranking after the noon hour, but at this point, just a light breeze here in the metro area and up in Santa Fe, a little stronger in Las Vegas and Grants with sustained speeds over 10 miles per hour. We'll likely see those winds pick up as those storms and showers redevelop this afternoon. We're talking scattered to even widespread rain activity today, with a little bit of the moisture being pulled up from Hurricane Newton. We'll likely get the remnants of this storm as we get into our Wednesday, but this will increase the flooding threat over the next 48 hours, especially those of you out across the eastern plains. You got hit hard last week with the same kind of setup for today and tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of a rocky situation. I'm breaking down what you need to know as well as that full 7-day forecast. That's coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Kristen, thank you. In just hours now, jury selection is scheduled to begin in the case of a man accused of killing a Rio Rancho police officer last Memorial Day in 2015. News 13's Sarah Yingling joins us now with a look at what's ahead today. Sarah?
Adam, it's a case that has gotten so much attention, it had to be moved from Sandoval County to Valencia County. This week, Andrew Romero will have his case heard in front of a jury. If you can recall, Romero and his girlfriend at the time, Tabitha Littles, were pulled over by Officer Greg Benner. It was during that routine traffic stop that Romero allegedly opened fire on Officer Benner, killing him. Romero is now facing a long list of charges, including first-degree murder. But the jury won't be hearing everything in court that he told investigators after his arrest. Statements that Romero made after asking to stop the interview were ruled not admissible. Now that those statements can't be used in the trial, Littles could be the key witness for the prosecution. Just last month, Littles pleaded guilty to harboring a felon and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Murder charges were dropped in exchange for testimony against Romero. She hasn't been sentenced yet. According to court officials, if Romero is convicted on every charge, he could be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Adam?
All right, Sarah, thank you. We're, of course, going to stay on top of what happens today and in the coming week in court. We'll let you know as it does unfold here on KRQE News 13 this morning and on the news app. In the meantime, we're learning more about the woman accused of desecrating slain APD officer Daniel Webster's memorial. She was once a huge police supporter. Over the weekend, police say 40-year-old Jennifer Auty tossed rocks, scattered flowers, and gutted stuffed animals at Officer Webster's memorial at Central and Eubank. The allegations are in stark contrast to Auty in 2014. Despite multiple arrests, Auty was a cheerleader for APD.
Thank you, officers, and you keep fighting for our cities. We need you.
I'm here to defend Albuquerque Police Department, and if you don't like it, you can go to jail.
So what changed? Well, at a 2015 city council meeting, Auty suddenly made serious accusations against police, including that officers had raped her and held a gun to her head. Since she made those comments, many of her criminal cases have been dismissed due to a lack of competency. Developing this morning, the family of a 4-year-old girl is grieving her loss after her body was found in the Animas River. It happened around 5 yesterday north of Aztec. The San Juan County Sheriff's Office says 4-year-old Emily Weiner was playing by the river with her family when she slipped and fell in. Emily was eventually found by the San Juan County Sheriff's Office chopper, and pilots immediately started CPR yesterday. Emily was rushed to the San Juan Regional Medical Center, where she later died. Happening today, Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies are expected to continue their investigation into the death of a 13-year-old boy in the South Valley. This happened around just before noon yesterday near Isleta and Rio Bravo. When deputies arrived, they say they found the boy dead inside an RV on the property. BCSO says it appears that he died of a drug overdose. No charges are pending at this time, and it's unknown how the boy was able to get those drugs. A man who had nearly everything he owns stolen from him in Albuquerque while on a cross-country move is hoping that somebody will spot his classic car. Last week, John Chikoski stopped at the Holiday Inn near Monalan University while moving from Michigan to Nevada. But when he woke up the next morning, his U-Haul was gone. Thieves made off with a dirt bike, tools, several firearms. But Chikoski says it's what was attached to the U-Haul that can't be replaced, his blue Camaro.
I was also pulling a project car behind it. It was the 81 Camaro. It was a car that I bought for my son when he was 14 years old. It was a project, father-son project.
A few days later, police found that abandoned U-Haul just outside of Albuquerque, but not the car. Chikoski says the royal blue Camaro has vintage Michigan plates on it because it's a project car. It has not been legally plated yet. Some people living in one New Mexico neighborhood are making plans to replace several political signs stolen right out of their yards. There used to be 11 signs supporting Donald Trump in one block of South Lee Street in Roswell, but that's now dropped to 5. Here's why. Nearly every house on the block had one sign until Friday night when someone stole them. Neighbors we spoke with say they think those signs were stolen by people who don't approve of what they stand for.
They can steal all the signs they want. It's not going to change our vote. So it's fruitless. It's stupid.
America is a country of freedom where you can freely express your views without intimidation and harassment. But this is, you could say, almost harassment.
They say the missing signs won't stop them, though, from supporting Trump. And with just 62 days to go until the November election, Trump and Hillary Clinton are hitting the campaign trail hard this morning. Clinton will hold a rally in Florida. Trump is scheduled to travel to Virginia and North Carolina. Yesterday, Trump invited reporters on board his private plane while in Ohio and summed up his Labor Day pitch to voters in the key battleground state.
But we're bringing back jobs. Jobs is the whole deal. It's going to be so vital to this country to bring back our jobs. Our jobs have been taken like Grant took Richmond.
The Republican nominee now says that he'll participate in all 3 presidential debates against Clinton. The first is scheduled to take place at the end of the month. For the second straight year, Hillary Clinton made Hampton, Illinois her Labor Day stop, this time arriving to kick off the home stretch of her presidential bid.
I want to be on the banks of the Mississippi with friends from Illinois and Iowa, talking about how we're going to make this economy work for everybody, not just those at the top.
Clinton made a stop in Ohio at virtually the same time as Trump. This video shows both of the campaign's planes on the tarmac there together. A group of Cuban migrants is safe this morning thanks to some fishermen who just happened to come across their stranded boat off the Miami coastline. During their Labor Day weekend fishing trip, the crew came across the boat full of 17 Cuban migrants just 15 miles from shore. The migrants had been stranded off the coast for a week after their motor broke down, and they were waiting for the U.S. Coast Guard to rescue the migrants with the fishermen. And Robert Cardoso gave them food and water and offered to contact their relatives back home to let them know they were safe. 5:40 now. Florida State University celebrating a win over Ole Miss this morning, but it's the young boy who was in the crowd who's drawing a lot of attention during the game. Bo Paskey was FSU wide receiver Travis Rudolph's guest of honor. Rudolph made headlines by performing an act of kindness while visiting a Tallahassee elementary school. He noticed that Bo was eating lunch alone in the school cafeteria, so Rudolph went and sat next to him. This photo of the FSU player sitting with the autistic boy went viral.
It just makes me so psyched. Well, I just have to say, I had to say this out loud. Go Noles.
He sure did. Paskey says his mom says that she's grateful for Rudolph's kindness, and now Bo has something to cherish for a very long time. It's cool to see that next step in that relationship.